Hi, this is Anthony Viljoen, CEO of Andrada Mining. We're a critical raw material producer based in the investment-friendly jurisdiction of Namibia. We have a proven track record of delivering and executing large-scale projects, and we have now developed and carry on developing value-accretive partnerships for growth and expansion of a very exciting portfolio of development assets.
Sounds complicated. So I want to strip it back a bit, Anthony. Right, we got tin, tantalum, lithium. That's what we're talking about here today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Look, I think the market is slightly off of lithium. You've got a stack of it. I'm intrigued to find out how you are moving that forward. Let's stick with the kind of core business, the tin, tantalum. How's things going since I saw you over a year ago?
Matt, production's up. We are really getting into our groove now from a mining point of view. Look at it, although it's complicated, it's actually very simple. We're a polymetallic ore body. Some of the best and most productive mines globally are polymetallic ore bodies. If you compare things like Olympic Dam in Australia, they're incredibly productive, incredibly value accretive, and produce lots of revenues, which is what we chase.
Right. Well, we'll talk to me about revenue from tin, tantalum. I've obviously been at the plant. You were expanding it then. I saw the product. But when you say increase production, what does that mean in terms of the bottom line?
So, you'll remember the ore body is incredibly vast. So it's all about economies of scale. This mine, it will be mined for the next literally a century, given the size of our resource. So what we keep chasing is more efficient ways in which we can move material through the plant, and it's starting to really pay dividends, not real dividends, but dividends in terms of free cash flow. So we are in a very positive situation from a cash flow point of view. Tin is buoyant. We've got our first shipments of tantalum that are coming out, and tantalum goes straight to the bottom line. So from a revenue generator, there's not very many junior miners that ever get to this stage, and I think that this allows us to graduate hopefully from a junior miner into a developer and producer.
Right. But can we get into some numbers proper though? Because free cash flow is the bit that I kind of latched onto there. That's always good. When you say it's large, it's 100-year plus. I mean, I could take 100 years to do my lawn if I move slowly enough. But I'm trying to work out what margins are being created here. What does that mean in terms of dollar terms or however you want to measure it?
Yeah.
Because as an investor, I'm trying to say, well, what's the growth opportunity here? So can you talk to that?
So the growth opportunity is all about unit costs. So all-in sustaining costs targets sitting around $27,000 a ton of tin, and you're selling for about $33,000. We've got a hedge in place at $33,000. So it's making a fair margin at this stage, and that obviously provides us with growth capital. But what the real upside is when you start adding the other elements, like your lithium and your tantalum revenues, that all-in sustaining costs should drop into the early teens. So that's where the huge upside is. So as we've always maintained, you're either going to be producing your tin for free or your lithium for free, and it just so happens that both tin, tantalum, and lithium all are critical raw materials and are in huge demand globally, even with the price fluctuations.
Right, and what's the ambition here? Okay, because like I said, I'm kind of facetious about the timing. If depending what speed you move, everything can last forever. But what the ambition to grow, ramp up, put more through the plant, expand the plant, what could that look like in the right conditions?
So look, we anticipate we can actually build what we've built 5 to 10 times bigger. So drop your mine life and increase your capacity. That's the natural thing. We are slightly constrained in terms of expanding the infrastructure as we grow. That's outside of our control. But
meaning what? Are you talking about
So
energy or what?
how- access to water and power. While all of our current expansion is well catered for in terms of grid access and underground water supply, long term we'll be looking to tap the desalination at the coast and also look to have a hybrid solution of solar. So those two projects are currently underway. Those are support initiatives that we're working with the government. So those need to be developed with the government concurrent with our own development.
Okay. So when it comes to the desalination plant, there's a bit of competition for that with the kind of uranium companies between you and the coastline. There's a second desalination plant being talked about. Is that what you're referring to in terms of the water?
Yeah. Look. The desalination plant is under capacity massively at this stage. We've been in discussions with them. It is the biggest desalination plant in Southern Africa. So, we don't foresee any concerns around accessing that water. It's also important to note, that we actually recycle 85% of our water. So the top-up water requirement is not that big. And because of the nature in which we recycle the water, we don't really have a huge amount. So our actual environmental footprint is very low. So the desalination plant is only for, as I said, it's a 10 times bigger plant. So we're very well catered for currently.
Right. Okay. And you can sort of see why I'm sort of pushing you on this one, because, you've gone through, you've been of a certain size for a while. And I guess people are interested in terms of when this kind of step change moment is going to come from you. Is it going to come from pushing the kind of lithium side of things in terms of that, I know it's polymetallic, but there's kind of seems to be, three major metals we're talking about here. Is there a step change coming because you're at that place now where you can take advantage of, pardon me, free cash flow, where you can take advantage of the markets? When's it coming? When's this moment gonna arrive?
So the moment's already here. I think free cash flow is what every junior miner their ambition is. But the real step change is definitely in the new year. So we are currently expanding production once again on the tin, but the integration of the lithium circuit into the main operations is going to be the big step change. So we're busy completing a feasibility study off the back of our pilot plant work that we've been undertaking over the course of the last year. So that will give us a good indication, a de-risked good indication of what the final sort of configuration will look like. So all of that is underway. It's all of the studies, all of the test work's been ongoing. We've actually had our first sale of lithium concentrate recently. So it's the step change is upon us, Matt, and although the market cap has stayed relatively flat, the actual growth of the company has been immense.
Right. Okay. So that feels like a sort of technical step change, introducing that circuit or integrating that circuit there. But lithium prices, obviously, famously sort of really kind of fell away after that sort of 18-month burst. So you got into the lithium space when all was well. It looks like it's kind of settling in, and we're looking for this kind of accretive growth. How dependent are you on that growth for increased margins? And again, how long can you wait? Are you producing lithium and making money from it?
So not yet, but we will next year. And bear in mind that the tin and the tantalum cover the costs of the operation. So
right. So it is literally for free.
It is literally for free. Yeah.
Okay.
So and that's the point that we want to ram home is that we want to be the lowest cost producer of lithium, hard rock lithium globally. So there's only one hard rock lithium mine globally. making money, and that's in Australia. It's also used to be an old tin mine, funnily enough. They also have a byproduct of tantalum, funnily enough. So it all plays into our narrative of a polymetallic ore body.
Okay. Okay. So I guess you've got that luxury of being able to, one, solve any sort of technical issues, wrap up issues on the lithium circuit, because it's for free. But obviously, what that also indicates is then is kind of using up monies which could be used for expansion on the tin for now. But you think that's all going to come together in the new year, as part of this
Absolutely.
integrated polymetallic critical minerals producer in Namibia. Okay, that makes sense. Can we? So there's the big idea, and I think that's probably what you're saying investors should look to. It's taken a kind of while to kind of get to this point, but now you're hoping to kind of, I say that step change is coming. Can we look at the kind of balance sheet today? Because I couldn't help but notice that you've kind of got a few facilities, or put a few facilities in place just in case. What's that just in case bit for?
No, so those aren't just in case. Those are expansion facilities that we've got. So, it's for us. It's very important to make sure that we have our partnerships, our funding partnerships lined up at an early stage. We don't want to rely on equity, and we don't rely on equity anymore. So, these the benefit of being in cash flow is that it begets more cash flow, and we're working together with our partners, Bank Windhoek, Development Bank of Namibia, and Orion Resource Partners, to provide expansion capital as we grow. So, all of the facilities in place have enabled the growth and continue to enable further growth. And these partners are with us for the long term. And so all new feasibility studies, we will look to our partners to finance those as we grow.
Right. And what are you focused on? What's the kind of order of play in terms of that expansion or growth capital plan?
So very much so, increasing the tin and bringing that lithium into the market, Matt.
Okay. It kind of like, what do you okay. So that's like bringing those metals into market. But I guess I'm coming back to that. I guess the key word is expansion or growth. However, I guess people conflate those two words. Doing what you're doing now, it isn't going to be enough. It doesn't show that kind of scale. That doesn't show that ambition. So can you talk to the expansion possibilities or targets?
So if we broke it down to numbers, so we're currently producing 1,000 tons of tin metal a year. We want to increase that by 60% in the next 6 to 12 months. From a lithium point of view, we want to get up to 40,000 tons of lithium concentrate into the market. But then I think that the next step change, once we've got those infrastructure upgrade solutions, is a 5 to 10 times increase on those numbers. So the scale is there, but it might seem incremental. But if you look back at our history, every 3 years we've doubled up our production. So you can see that as we grow, these economies of scale are becoming apparent.
Right. Okay. Interesting. One commodity I haven't mentioned so far is copper.
Yeah.
You're showing signs of copper, and I think you put out a release recently talking about this. Is this something that will be part of the concentrate, or I don't know, what are the grades like? Tell me a bit more about it.
Yeah. So look, it's maybe it's worthwhile taking a step back and just running through our whole hypothesis on this region.
Okay.
You'll know that this has been a very much an underexplored region, and when we went in there and started our initial work, the view was that these pegmatites are incredibly rich in different elements, and what we wanted to do was focus on the historical mining areas where there was a sort of precedent for mining, and we could get a head start in terms of exploration and development. So we've done that very successfully. So we've obviously unlocked a huge amount of value with WES, and that's our nucleus of development. We've got a world-class partner in our Lithium Ridge asset, which is also spectacularly exciting lithium opportunity, and really great having a partnership in there. So that was also a historic mine, and then Bradberg West was a historic mine, and we've just done some scout drilling there, and that's where the copper is coming in. So the whole idea was always, let's get into cash flows. Let's start the operations with a central footprint. Let's expand those operations. Let's then use that cash flow and leverage that cash flow to open up this area into what we believe will be a world-class mining destination for critical raw materials. So going back to your question on the copper, if I can,
please.
There's strong indications of up to 3% copper within the ore body. Once again, so it's the same type of concept as a polymetallic ore body. It's got tin, tungsten, and copper. You're getting like phenomenal grades of tin, up to 4% tin in those veins. You're getting great signatures of tungsten, and what we're also finding now is the copper. So when we talk about a region being a repository of critical raw materials, this area has it all, and the fact that it's been so untouched for so long gives us a competitive advantage.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll stick on the copper for a bit. We'll come on something else in a second. So tell me about the ore body in terms of what that kind of looks like. What are you chasing? Because if I'm looking at some of the grades indicated, they're over kind of very sort of narrow vein type structures, it seems. So can you talk to me about the efficacy of how you go about mining something like that?
Yeah, so they're all quartz vein hosted mineralization. The old miners, which were gold fields back in the day, they chased these veins, but then what they firstly from an underground point of view, then they super pitted the operation. So there's a huge old pit there. So what we've done is we've modeled the pit, and then we've done a drilling program on the veins to see that how deep they go. We haven't got to the bottom of the vein system, but what is really fascinating is that this system of veins extends for 2 or 3 kilometers. It's relatively straightforward mining and processing. So it's once again a gravity-based separating plant. With the copper, you probably look to leach that. They never actually extracted the copper historically. So there's a big opportunity with the dumps. And I think that there's going to be a lot of upside just in terms of that extent of the mineralization. So it is a gem. I'm very excited by it. I think introducing technologies like ore sorting will work like a dream on this ore body. And once again, relatively easy to operation to get up and running and expand. So we're not looking at big capex, but it's early revenues, low capex, everything that you want out of a deposit. Open cast wall.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I think polymetallic projects around the world, kind of people struggle to sort of understand because there's so many moving parts, really. It's only when you kind of get into production that people can sort of judge you by what's spat out the other end in dollar terms. Is that kind of what you're hoping to do and get away from this rather sort of complex, multi-part story where everything seems to have its own technical challenges? I mean, is that a kind of...
It's all about revenues and profits. I think people get carried away with mining these days, and try and have the biggest NPV on the spreadsheet. But it's about margins and profits, and that's all we're focused on. I mean, if you look at Olympic Dam, you keep using that as the base case. That base, that's run by Rio. And it is Rio, really. That's where we see the opportunity, and that's where we see our ambition.
Well, aim high, why not? Look, I think just in terms of like getting back into this story and trying to understand what the brainchild is here. It feels like you're sort of at a moment for change. So, look, I'm excited to follow the story and see how you get on, and especially excited to sort of see what you can actually deliver in the new year, as you say. So, Anthony, appreciate your time today. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, no, thanks, Matt. And the nice thing about these conversations is that every time we have them, everything that we've said we were going to do, we have done. I think what we have missed out on is the incredible opportunity that we've got now with SQM, that have come on board and have validated our belief in this area. They are the biggest lithium miners globally. They are very aggressive in terms of acquiring new deposits. They see a lot of value in what Lithium Ridge is, as we have. And everything that is Lithium Ridge has been all upside for us, and especially this partnership with SQM. We can't underplay how important this development has been for us.